Hi, this is Michel again. Today I'd like to talk to you about the second part where we left off yesterday on our exhibition in Beijing, May 2018. When we got our 600 pieces of ceramics back from the oven, we had to move them throughout Beijing in this amazing studio complex on the first floor. And it was really like in a movie. When I was standing on top of a roof, I saw push carts with people pushing loads of tiles throughout the old city of Beijing with our pieces. And then I was in a taxi and I saw 3 other carts driving by people pushing them. When I arrived in our studio complex, I see people walking up the first floor, second floor with these ceramic pieces that we started lining up in our new studio in Beijing, where we were actually planning from a very, very large paper mock-up with numbers to put the whole installation together, ready for packing and to start working on the works on paper. We had this incredible team that usually worked on rather traditional Chinese ceramics, mostly reproduction for the world market. It was such an incredible community of workers. We were able to get such incredible results of making these squares. The next challenge was how we could prepare them that once they were shipped to Beijing, they would arrive in order to hang them within 2 days. We lined everything on the floor, so the whole installation, pretty much as we imagined it, was basically put on the floor. We numbered everything. We matched piece by piece, and within 2 or 3 days, we had this very, very big imaginary installation on our floor. The next challenge started. We had to create a very large series of works on paper, and my idea was to use the finest Chinese rice paper and create imprints from the ceramic pieces and the surfaces that had all residue, glacier dust, and tiny little pieces of rubble on each of the ceramic pieces. So we started doing the first test, and we basically, in the evening, put these very, very delicate pieces of rice paper over the ceramic pieces, watered them like flowers, and waited until the morning. In the evening, we had the incredible luck to find these amazing restaurants, and there were also some coffee shops that were in that region, so we were quite entertained. And in the mornings, once we came back, we had our installation covered with white papers, and we create these closing lines and started hanging the first pieces. They were incredibly beautiful. I had this imagination of these papers flying like flags. I still did not have a solution how I would hang them in the exhibition because one part was very hard, was the ceramics, and then there were these rubbings that I did not want to show framed. I went back to Beijing, to our studio. It took us 3 or 4 days to clean the black pigment to make the studio white again. We repainted everything in white and started with my very, very large white canvases, which is called Salt and Dust, and the small pieces, layered them with white pigment and salt, an extract of crushed seashells that became like a pigment. And that process lasted about 2 or 3 weeks. We then started bringing back the first works on paper that I still try to figure out how to hang. Years before, I had a very bad back injury, and I had acupuncture needles implanted in my body, and I still see them vibrating along my legs. And suddenly I woke up and said, my God, what about if I find these amazing acupuncture needles and I hang my works on paper opposite ceramic wall? I went in the gallery and I looked at the walls, and we tried with 1 or 2 acupuncture needles whether if I plant them very, very quick, how they would look. So we put the first rubbing on the wall, a breeze came and it started moving like a flag. We knew that was going to work. So we went back to Beijing. We started packing our 600 pieces for the installation. We packed all the paperworks, and about 2 days after we arrived in Beijing, everything arrived in the studio. And again, the very, very extraordinary thing about this exhibition was everybody said, Michel, when you arrive in China, it's super complicated. They work incredibly well, but this is really too ambitious to do. We were actually 3 or 4 days early to mount our exhibition, so we had really the most amazing time to prepare this, but this is when the chaos started. And basically it was just a logistical chaos of translation. We had our own idea how to hang the installation, and our Chinese crew had their idea of hanging the installation. So halfway through, we looked, and nothing was straight and nothing was aligned. My Chinese crew, in a circle, started discussing. Everybody started to get a big smile. Within seconds, everybody agreed. The half of the installation came off the wall, and on the other side, we started remounting. By the end of the night, the whole installation was up. And we have a time lapse of this process, and it was really like a film. But we had the best time, and everything was done in time. We had our picnic on the sidewalk in the backyard. We ate incredibly well. We laughed. The exhibition opened in time, and I think looking back, it was one of the most extraordinary things. And then the next step was, a couple of weeks later, Art Basel, opening in Basel, and we had to get the catalog Light 1, Light 2, Light 3 back to Steidl and to my art director, Jens, to finish everything. When Art Basel 2018 opened, the Steidl catalogs were laying there. The first ceramic pieces were hanging The exhibition was wonderful, and I talk to you tomorrow on the next episode from my studio. Thank you very much. We continue tomorrow. That was Michel.